Today we're going to explain and understand what Bitcoin is. And the best way to understand what Bitcoin is by referring to the very name given to this technology by its creator, Satoshi Nakamoto, which is a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. But the key word in this description is cash, which means our money in physical form, our paper bills, our physical currency. Here's how it works. If we want to make a payment, a transaction, using physical cash, we simply go to a person, hand them the bill, and the payment is complete. Possession of the bill implies ownership, so it's a bearer asset. Physical money is a bearer asset. When we carry out this transaction, we don't need any intermediary to make it happen. To complete this simple task, there's no need for a bank to mediate the transaction, because it's a transaction between two parties without any intermediary. And we also don't need to know who the parties are. In other words, we don't need to know their identities. A cash transaction provides a lot of privacy. Finally, cash payments are irreversible. Once the payment is made with physical money, there is no way to reverse it or get that money back. Now, if we want to make a payment to someone in another city or country using physical cash, that's practically impossible. No one is going to put a dollar bill in an envelope and mail it. So in these cases, we inevitably have to rely on a third party, a payment system. The most common example is the banking system itself, banks, or for instance PayPal, which is a payment system built for the internet. Our current paradigm is, on one side we have state-issued currencies, materialized as cash. On the other side, we have payment systems like banks or PayPal. The idea behind Bitcoin is to replicate the properties of physical money, of cash, in the digital environment. The goal is to digitize and transform our physical money into a digital form. But when that happens, something truly extraordinary occurs, because we not only have a digital currency, but also a payment system at the same time. This is why we say Bitcoin is truly digital money, electronic money, because it is in fact a bearer asset that can be stored, for example, on your phone or your computer. Transactions happen between two parties, without the need for any bank or financial institution to intermediate a Bitcoin transaction. We also don't need to know the identities of the people involved, so it's a transaction with a high degree of privacy, and payments are irreversible, just like with cash. So the best way to understand and explain what Bitcoin is that Bitcoin is the digitization of cash. That's why we call it an electronic cash system. And that is what Bitcoin is. And how it works and the implications of this technology are topics for future videos.